What is going on? I am back! And today, I'm doing a low effort video for all my fans out there. Yeah, low effort video for the fans. And today we are doing a tier list of all of the kingdoms in Super Mario Odyssey. My most recent video was a Super Mario Odyssey speed run, so I figured I'd just do a tier list. This is something I've been thinking about for a little bit. Think it'd be fun. People in the comments down below could leave their opinions on certain kingdoms. So yeah, that'll be a good idea. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's just jump into it. First up here is Bowser's Kingdom. I like the aesthetic of Bowser's Kingdom very much. I like the vibe, the traditional Japanese architecture is very cool. But what I don't like about it is that it is very linear, right? Because it's kind of like the penultimate battle before Moon Kingdom, right? And when you go back afterwards to 100% complete the game, right, these small islands just kind of feel like trivial and disjointed. Anyways, yeah, so those smaller islands just feel kind of disjointed when going back to 100% complete the game. But again, aesthetic is cool, music is very cool, the captures are pretty unique, but I'm just going to put this one at middle of the road. I feel like that's a fair assessment of Bowser's final kingdom. Next on, Cascade Kingdom. Cascade Kingdom is very traditional in the sense of right, like, it's kind of following that 2D Mario tradition, like it's green, plains, very bright and colorful, there's a nice waterfall. The dinosaur is very cool. The sub-areas here are pretty cool. It's not super unique, right? It's kind of sticking to the more traditional side to make new players feel more welcomed. But I like it very much, and the dinosaur is a big help. And Dino Skip in speedruns is very cool when you don't fuck it up. So I'm going to put this one in pretty cool. I like Cascade Kingdom. It's a very nice area. Cloud Kingdom. Cloud Kingdom feels kind of lazy, right? You're only there for the boss battle, and going back, there's not a lot of moons to collect, and there's just a few sub-areas. Very pretty, but again, I feel like if they actually expanded on this idea of like a Cloud Kingdom and like a Cloud City, I feel like that could have been really cool, and it was just kind of like a throwaway thing for a boss battle, so I'm going to put Cloud Kingdom in lacking. No, that's Dark Side. Okay, so this is just a quick little kingdom with the boss battle for the different bunnies, whatever, the different furries, whatever, and that's really that's all there really is here. I know there's some paintings and some sub areas, and it has some of the harder sub areas, but again, there's really not like a lot to explore. There's not a city to venture to, so, and it's post game content, right? Post game after like completing the main story, so I am gonna put this one in lacking as well. And that, I believe, is Darker Side, and Darker Side is way cooler because it's that big penultimate level, right, that if you die once you have to start all the way over. And again, it's not a super difficult level, but it is very fun. There's that thank you message at the game, and it takes a lot to get there, right? You need 500 moons or stars to get there. I appreciated Darker Side. I appreciated the partial challenge. It wasn't super difficult for me, but I know it can be difficult for some people. I really appreciated the challenge that Darker Side brought. And there are some cool skips and speedruns of just Darker Side, which is really cool. So I'm going to put Darker Side in middle of the road, right? It just has that one penultimate or final challenge, right? That final like one run all the way through, you can't die challenge, which is really cool. But again, not a super unique world, not a lot of music. It's just the level, right? That's like the core of it. Lake Kingdom. Lake Kingdom's boring. It's a water level, right? It follows that traditional 2D Mario, plains, desert, water, depending on what you choose, right? But Lake Kingdom, although it's pretty and has a very nice aesthetic, and the underwater town is kind of cool, I just don't like water levels in Mario games. I feel like they've always been a little slow, a little clunky, and capturing a Cheep Cheep helps, right? Capturing a Cheep Cheep and swimming around is helpful, but also this kingdom is very small.
That's what she said!
In comparison to other ones. And it's not even like a throwaway one like Cloud Kingdom that's just for a boss battle. Like, this is supposed to be a fully realized kingdom, and it's very small as a fully realized kingdom. So that's why it is in the dog shit tier. Lost Kingdom to me. Now, although I hate Klepto the Bird, I hate hate Klepto so much. I think Lost Kingdom, for what it is, besides that, is really cool. I think it's got some cool sub areas. Some of the hidden moons in there are cool, like crouching through that small block to find Captain Toad, and the one where you go into this small little cave and there's like the flowers to get. I think like those little like hidden interior zones are pretty cool. I like the verticality of Lost Kingdom as well, and we'll get to more about my appreciation for verticality when we talk about Wooded Kingdom. So besides Klepto, I actually really do like Lost Kingdom. I like the aesthetic. The music is pretty different, so I'm gonna put it in pretty cool. Luncheon. Luncheon. Luncheon is such a unique kingdom. Luncheon has a unique art style, right? It's a very unique concept, right? Everything is food. It's probably the worst part of my speedrun, so I kind of have a bias against it, but I'm going to try and not think about that, because Luncheon, my first playthrough, the story of Luncheon and the boss battle of Luncheon is really cool, and it's a very large kingdom. Besides my personal bias against it in terms of speedrunning, I think Luncheon is actually a very cool kingdom, so I'm going to put it in pretty cool as well. Metro Kingdom, come on, this is kind of unfair. That's a pretty superb kingdom, if I must say, right? The music is there, Jump Up Superstar is there, one of the biggest kingdoms. It has so many moons, so many cool sub areas. Again, there's a lot of verticality and a lot of movement opportunities to just for me, just jumping around Metro Kingdom is so much fun. Just creating new lines of ways to move around is just a lot of fun for me. There's not many kingdoms that provide that, so I really enjoy Metro for that reason. A lot of the mini games in Metro Kingdom are cool. I know the race car mini game is there, and you can always redo that the Metro Kingdom celebration, which is just a lot of fun. You're going through those 2D areas and all the other people are celebrating. And yeah, there's cool sub areas. Yeah, Metro Kingdom is just all around superb. It's not my personal favorite. We'll get to that soon, but it is very, very cool. Moon Kingdom. Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of the low gravity, but Moonskip is very cool. Some of the sub areas are cool. Do I think they could have done more with Moon Kingdom? Probably. Moon Kingdom feels a little empty at times. I mean, I know it's the moon, right? But they could have had asteroids or moon rocks falling and other things like that with the low gravity. They could have had some more interior spaces other than just the church. So I personally feel like Moon Kingdom is lacking a little bit, but it is definitely better than Cloud and Dark Side. So that's how I feel about Moon Kingdom. I know a lot of people probably would put it a little bit higher. Mushroom Kingdom. I was completely blown away when they put Mushroom Kingdom into the game. I love what they did with it. They essentially just completely revamped the castle from Mario 64, and they made it look really cool. And the moons are now stars, which is also awesome. And it kind of ties in with the other games, right? Like in 64, the moons were stars, and then in Sunshine, they were the shines, and then in Galaxy, they were the different shape. I don't remember what the shape is called, but they were a different shape. Were they comets? I think they might have been called comets. So I think that aspect of it was cool, just from a storytelling perspective. Mushroom Kingdom is so pretty, and there's a lot of harder bosses. I thought that was a really cool aspect of it. Talking to Toadette to get those extra moons is cool. The callback to looking up to the ceiling of inside the castle is really cool. And then at the very end, when you get 999 moons, what they do in Mushroom Kingdom is really cool. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's really cool, and it hits nostalgically, so I'm going to put Mushroom Kingdom in superb. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very nice. A pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, that's how I feel about Mushroom Kingdom. Ruin Kingdom. Dog shit. It just has the boss battle and 3 sub areas. I know it's in the same boat as Cloud Kingdom, but I like Cloud Kingdom aesthetically more. So yeah, Ruin Kingdom is down there. And it's not really even personal. It's just one, there's only so much you can do with this concept. And 2, from a storytelling perspective, it was just there for that boss battle, that shock factor. So I get why it wasn't expanded upon. But again, not really my vibe. Could have done more with it. But I understand why they didn't. Besides that, it's still going in dog shit tier. Sand Kingdom. Sand Kingdom is superb. I feel like that's... I want to go in the middle there. I feel like everyone kind of collectively agrees on that. Sand Kingdom is great. There's a lot of moons in Sand Kingdom. There's a lot of different environments, right? There's the oasis. There's the town. There's the upside down pyramid. There's the big sub areas. There is kind of that other ruined area past the town, right? And then there's the island off to the side with those ruins. It's just a very cool space, and they did a lot of unique things with that space, like the cactuses and the Jaxi driver, and like the sheep. And I like how they kind of twisted it, right? Like changed that like typical progression in a Mario game from like plains to sand to underwater. Like they started the Sand Kingdom out as it's freezing, which is like ironic, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, sand is really fun. It's very fun to speedrun. I really like it. I like the music. I like rolling around, right, because there's all these hills. There's not as much vertical interactions, though, so that kind of lacks a little bit. Anyways, moving on. Seaside. Seaside is my personal favorite, which sounds silly, right, because it goes against everything I've pretty much set up to this point. Because, one, there's no vertical play, right? There's no vertical interactions compared to Metro or to Wooded or things like that. And it's mostly water. So I'm very much so contradicting myself when I say Seaside Kingdom is my personal favorite. But let me explain why. One, I think the volleyball minigame is just really cool. I really enjoy volleyball. So knowing that they put that into the game, like beach volleyball, I thought that was fun. It just has like a lot of character, I feel like. Being able to swim around. It's very... The main reason is that it's very aesthetically pleasing, right? It's very beautiful. I could probably, if I was ever feeling sad, I could probably just load up Mario Odyssey and go to Seaside Kingdom and just like walk around and just feel better about myself and just feel happy because of the music and the vibe, and especially after you achieve peace, like world peace, and then you're in the sunset Seaside Kingdom. Oh, it's so beautiful, and you can fly around and just sit on top of the champagne glass and all this stuff. It's just such a beautiful kingdom. And I know that it just completely contradicts everything I've said so far, but it's my personal favorite. Fight me about it. I don't care. I'm sticking to it. I love it so much. Snow Kingdom. I'm not a fan of Snow Kingdom. I think that Shiveria is cool, but the overworld of Snow Kingdom just feels very empty. It feels very empty. It just kind of feels like the same aesthetic of Snow Kingdom could have been accomplished without the empty space of just water around, you know? There's things like that where it's like, oh, they made it so big, but then it's like kind of empty space. Whereas like with Sand Kingdom, they made it so big, but there's actually like stuff to do. Also, I don't like the freezing mechanics of being in cold water. Like that's just a little annoying. And then with Snow Kingdom being like very sub area based, there's not a lot of room to just like kind of go back and explore, right? Like once you complete a sub area, like there's no reason to go back. And there's not a lot of room for play, like to create new lines to jump around in the overworld or anything like that compared to somewhere like Metro or Sand Kingdom. So I feel like Snow Kingdom is actually very lacking. Wooded Kingdom I think is superb. At first I didn't like Wooded Kingdom. I love it now. It grew on me a lot. I think there's a lot of character in Wooded Kingdom. I think how the time you spend on your first playthrough in Wooded Kingdom, the story is very cool. I love the vertical aspect of it. There's a lot of places where you can find shortcuts and find different ways to move around and optimize your movement, which is really fun to do. And of course you can fly with I forget the thing's name, but it's the guy at like the very top, like the lizard guy with the wings. You can fly around with him, which is always fun. Oh, Deeper Woods. I was like genuinely scared of Deep Woods when I first accidentally fell in there. I was like, oh, I died, and then I didn't die. And then I was in this dark, scary place. And then I heard something creeping around, stomping around, and I was scared for my life. But now Deep Woods is like, oh, dinosaur. I love Wooded Kingdom. I think it's amazing. I think it's underappreciated compared to other kingdoms. I don't think the vertical aspect to it is appreciated enough. And again, it's very big. It is bigger than people realize. So yeah, I really enjoy Wooded Kingdom. Cap Kingdom. I love the vibe of Cap Kingdom. It has very Tim Burton Night Before Christmas vibes. The music in it is very cool. And although when you first go through it, like your first playthrough, it's a very quick kingdom to breeze through. When you go back to 100% complete the game, there actually is like a decent amount of like post-game content to do in Cap Kingdom. There's a lot of sub-areas. And I remember there's like a lot of hidden moons in the fog and stuff like that, which I thought was cool. I mean, the aesthetic really helps it here, but I'm going to put it in middle of the road. It's very unique in its aesthetic. Yeah, this seems about right. Again, I know my personal favorite is a bit contradictory to my other requirements for like, or other characteristics of what makes a good kingdom, but it's just, the peacefulness that I feel whenever I go to Seaside just kind of outweighs those other topics. Yeah, so this is my tier list of all the Super Mario Odyssey kingdoms. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I had a lot of fun just kind of thinking about this and walking through it and talking it out. It was very cool to actually think about some of these things and how I actually feel about them. Like, because I speed run, or I mean, I'm not the best at it, but whenever I speed run, I have this personal bias against like Luncheon Kingdom or against Lost Kingdom. But when I really think about them in other aspects, I actually do like them more than I initially thought. So this has actually been a lot of fun for me. Please let me know what you guys think about certain kingdoms down below, if you agree or disagree. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.